dust off the old chops and kind of jam it out a little bit. I said a lot of nice things about this guy moments ago.
Ladies and gentlemen,
In interest, I just wanted to say so.
oh, sorry.
I said a lot of nice things about him, but I don't want to inflate his ego. So in the interest of my personal relationship with him, I retract it all.
That being said, please give it up to one of the best people that we know. You know him, you love him, Mr. Misha Collins!
You would want to do this. But if for some reason we ever wanted to change the lyrics to "he's an a-hole," it does fit.
It does actually fit.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
Just something for the kids at home.
Am I on warning here? Is that what that is?
Let me tell you something. I just said,
oh, thank you.
I was so busily saying so many nice things about you that it made me mildly nauseous. So I'm trying to, cleanse myself.
Really? You were doing that?
Did I say nice things about Misha Collins?
Isn't that like against the code of brotherhood that we have here? Like, you don't talk nice about each other.
No, in fact, when guys say nice things about each other, it's because they don't actually like each other.
That's right.
The only way you know a guy likes you is when he calls you dickhead.
Right.
Hey, look who's really into me.
So what did I do to piss you off?
No, that's the opposite. I said nice things. Oh, what made you piss me off?
Yeah.
The nicest. They're probably too nice. The squeaky cleanness. Like the giving to others bit. I'm tired of it.
It's desperate, isn't it?
The old you know what I'm gonna do with my wealth and fame? Share it. Oh, please. Raise awareness. Oh, let's all raise awareness. God.
Actually, I just mimed, gagged me with and I hit my I'm not too deep.
You gagged yourself.
And you almost threw up?
And almost threw up on the stage.
Which
would have been a nice
That would have been, seriously, a con high watermark.
It's like Ozzy Osbourne time up here.
The gift is him verbally abusing you.
And you
and Creation would plaster that all over their website. Come to a supernatural convention. It's amazing. We'd be making good on the debauchery that we always promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins.
Hello, Vegas! There are a lot of you out there. That's amazing. Holy smokes. Let me get a closer look at these people. Hey, how are you? Good, great.
Love you, Misha.
Proud of the president? It's shaping up to, it's possible that we might have a close second to it. This is the lineup anyway. Hi guys. Look, there's a tiny person. Hi, little person. You know, I'm talking to the one person in this audience who doesn't want me to talk to him. Hi, cutie pie. I know, it's weird. My voice must sound very loud. Hi. He can't say hi, he's too young, so don't tell him to say hi. Mom's like, say hi. You're disappointing me. Grandma? What? Wow, amazing. He looks very happy about that. Cheers. Oh my God, what a cute little baby. Hi. I have cute little babies too, though, you know. Show off. This morning, I actually flew in this morning, which was kind of crazy, and I had breakfast with my kids. Hi. And while West and I were sitting having our oatmeal at the table. Mason was in the bathroom, and she declared from the bathroom, "West, come look, my poop looks like a penis." And he said, "I've seen that before." And then a couple minutes later, we ate some more oatmeal. A couple minutes later, she said, "West, come here. My poop looks like a vagina." And West was like, "All right, I'm gonna check it out." Got up and checked it out. I didn't want to see it. So yeah. Yeah, they're great. We were packing stuff up. We kind of have this division of labor in our household. Like there's certain things that naturally we've just gravitated toward. I do most of the cooking and the finances, and Vicky, you know, she plans a trip, and she also packs up the kids' shit, like all their drinks and diapers or whatever they need. And that's just how we do it. And I think that if I meddle in her stuff or she meddles in my stuff, it just gets confusing. So we don't step on each other's toes. And she was packing stuff up for us to get in the car. And Wes said, "Why isn't Dad doing anything?" My wife, you need to know this. She has a PhD, and she said, "Well, because he doesn't know how." And I said, "Is it because he's not a doctor?" Okay. That's enough about my family. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. My question is, what aspects of your character are most like yourself and least like yourself?
I like that you finished, like, she knew exactly where she was going with that question, but you jumped in and just finished it for her anyway. Yeah. Did you plan that you were going to share the question?
Kind of.
Kind of. And then you were actually going to just barrel through and do the whole thing yourself, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just going to cut her off.
Usurped her. Not nice at all. It was your question, too, and she totally... So that's called plagiarism where I come from. Okay, well, I mean, we share a lot of... There are commonalities, like between me and Castiel. Are we talking about Castiel or Satan?
Yes. Castiel.
I don't even know, is this a chair or a music stand? Am I... Okay. Well, Castiel, I mean, first of all, we're physically identical. Yeah. We actually don't sound a whole lot alike. I have said this before, but I'll say it again. I think that the writers, so when the first few scripts came in, like when I just started on the show, Castiel was a total badass. Like he was what? Yes, he was. I thought you said no, he wasn't. Oh, yeah? That's not tough at all. I mean, you did, and then you trip over your music stand. I was in the green room. Jen, who's one of the volunteers here, was like, so I had this shirt that I flew on the plane with. It was really wrinkly. Just looked kind of shabby, and I wanted to spruce myself up, so I put on my t-shirt, my favorite t-shirt. And she was like, "You're not going to wear that, are you?" What the fuck, you know? It's my favorite t-shirt. But she was responding to the fact, it is my favorite t-shirt, and I admit I have a hard time letting things go. But it is... It may be time to let it go. And the other thing is, I was like, oh yeah, it does kind of have a little hole here. And I went like that. And it smells too. Like, I actually think it might have... I haven't washed it in a while. So, be forewarned. Huggers in the group. What were we talking about? So the first few scripts come in, and Castiel is a warrior of God. He is, full-on military dude, and he's scary. Like he's all up in Jensen's grill, and not Jensen, whatever the other character's name is, and then very quickly after I started portraying the character of Castiel, they modified him to be this socially awkward dork with personal space issues and no social graces. And I can't help but think that is a little bit of more of me coming through in the character than was originally intended. So that's enough of you. Yes, hi. Hello.
Hi. Sexual harassment can be a problem in the workforce, so how often would you say you experience sexual harassment at work? But, to clarify, they're not bad touches if you enjoy them.
Thank you for defining your terms there. The set of Supernatural. There's a lot of good touches that go on. I don't know what to say. I do know that I'm like, is what we're doing legal? I really said that somebody sues somebody over what's happening on set right now. So there's a line, and we're on the other side of it a lot of the time. It's all in good fun. Sexual harassment. I guess. So you're saying if we're shooting a scene and a broomstick is tickling my balls. But if I'm enjoying it, it's tricky.
That would be a good touch.
Okay. Yeah, we get a lot of those now. Yeah, good. Thanks for that question. Hi.
I was wondering.
I really thought you were going somewhere serious too, it's another, you guys haven't addressed, you've dealt with depression, blah, blah, but not sexual harassment. But no, shame on you. Hi.
What's your favorite joke that was ever... No, I'm just kidding.
My favorite joke?
No. Are you ever going to write an autobiography about all the crazy shit you've done?
God, I really take issue with that. I don't think I've done anything crazy. I did recently start kind of journaling, sort of. I went through, I don't know why, maybe I was feeling nostalgic or something, and I went through kind of I know what it was. I had this guy with a scanner come over and digitize all of our old photos and stuff. Because I thought, eventually our house is going to burn down and we're going to lose this stuff. So, and then I was going through all the photos and it was making me kind of dredging up old memories, and so I started sort of taking some notes on things, and I did notice that there are several things that I, in my mind, look back on and think of, wow, that was kind of awesome, crazy that you did that, good for you. And then I think, you probably shouldn't share that with other people, because they'll think that you are a sick son of a bitch. So there are some things that fall into that category for me. Things that when I would tell you about them, you would kind of cringe and be like, really? You did that? So I don't know that I want to write that book. But yeah. Mm-hmm. I recently shot a little kind of pilot, because I had this idea for a TV show, which was just me going around and breaking laws. which I thought, that's like that'll be cool, right? We just go, break laws, see what happens. So my son is like, well, my dad breaks laws. And it's hard for me to explain, why. Yeah, okay, you were there when we were shooting that. We were breaking laws on purpose. You really lose a lot of your authority when you're like, oh, don't do that, that's against the rules. You're like, fuck you, Dad, you break laws. So anyway, I didn't answer your question. Hi.
Hello. If you were in a Marvel movie, what character would you be?
If I were in a horror movie?
A Marvel movie.
A Marvel movie. Oh, I thought you said horror movie. I was like, well, I'll be the knife. A Marvel movie. I don't know. What? Lucky? Lucky?
Yeah, Lucky.
Sorry, I didn't know. Captain America's spandex is a good answer. Do you have a favorite? So I had a really big argument with my kids about, we're trying to kind of insulate them from superhero stuff and television and pop culture in general, because we feel like, we want to protect their innocence and their childhood and not have them be marketed to by major conglomerates. It's a completely losing battle. Like, they're full on into the Avengers, even though they've never seen any Avengers stuff, but they know all the characters and everything that they do. And they're talking about the Hulk. And I'm like, no, it's not Hulk, it's Hulk. Hulk. And we actually got in an argument. And my son started crying. I guess I was too passionate about it or something. I was like, it's Hulk with an L, stupid. And then he cried. And then I was like, okay, it's Hulk. It's Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. So my favorite is the Hulk. Hi.
So my Dish West team and I, while we were building our water bottle raft and floating on the lake with it, we spent a lot of time listening to and watching the Cooking Fast and Fresh with West videos. And we absolutely fell in love with your two adorable children. And so I was just wondering if you could tell us, maybe you've already told us quite a few, but if you've got a specific story you'd like to tell us about your adorable children.
I'm really a one-trick pony, aren't I? This is good food for thought. Well, I mean, I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because I thought it was really sweet. We were lying in bed recently, and I was reading. We have a bedtime ritual. We all cozy up, one kid on each arm. We read books. We negotiate first about how many books we're going to read. It becomes kind of an argument. Every night it's an argument. Like, no, we're going to read 4. Like, we always, Dad, come on, let's do 5, let's do 6, come on. And it just sort of starts everything off on a bad note, but then we cozy in, we get comfy, we start reading, and I say, I want you guys to never grow up. I want you to never grow up, never grow up. And basically said, no, Dad, I am going to grow up. And I said, no, I want you to never grow up. I want you to all be my little girl. I want you to never grow up. She said, no, Dad, I am going to grow up. I said, no, I want you to be my little girl forever. She said, no, Dad, I am going to grow up, and I'm going to get old, and I'm going to die. And it kind of killed the mood. Hi.
If you were to write a fan fiction, who would it be about and what would it be about?
That's a disgusting question. Shame on you. The Pimpmobile and the Impala. Hot trunk on tailpipe action.
Alright, I love the gag reels you guys do every year, and I was wondering, out of all the gag reels you did with the crew and everything, what was the worst or best gag that's ever pulled on you, or you pulled on somebody else?
This brings up a lot of painful memory. I don't know what is the bet that. What? Change. Oh, so I played a game of word. Thank you for that prompt, because I do go blank when I have to recall a memory that happened more than 5 minutes ago. So Jared and I were playing a game. This was like maybe 5 years ago or something. Words with Friends, the app just came out, and it became this kind of virus. Became this sort of virus on set, like. Everybody was playing Words with Friends. It was taking over our lives. It was kind of bad. It was like heroin. And Jared and I played a few games against each other. We were kind of like pretty well matched. A lot of times you play somebody Words with Friends and you trounce them and it's kind of embarrassing, so you don't want to do it again. But we were kind of well matched. And I was like, hey man, do you want to play Words with Friends? And he was like, no, you know what? I've got so many games going right now. And I was like, come on, let's make it interesting. We'll put some money on it. He's like, oh, all right. How about $100 a point? So however many points you beat that person by, it's $100. You know, I was like, well, did a little math and realized like, oh, if you beat me by 10 points, it's $1,000 and I can't afford that, so no. How about $10? And he said, sure. And usually the point spread at the end of a game is something like, 20 points or something like that. He beat me by 160 points, which has never happened before or since. It was awful. It was horrific. It was like Z's on triple word scores in every direction. It was, And so I got $1,600 worth of Canadian pennies and nickels and dumped them on the floor of his trailer. Which made the bitter pill of losing all that money and just losing a little bit sweeter. Just a little bit. Because it was a real pain in the ass for him. And then he wrote a note that said, donation for random acts, and he dumped most of that change back into my car. So it was like, in a weird way, I kind of lost like 3 times. And still to this day, when I brake, suddenly I hear shh. A change somewhere in the car, bumping against it. So, hi.
Was there ever a mistake or a stupid thing you did that people still tease you about?
Nope. The change. That's a really good question. Yes. So we had a scene. This was maybe season 6 or something like that. We had a scene. I was a little hoarse, probably from trying to beat Castiel. And there was a bad thing coming. We were shooting a scene. I don't fucking remember what it was. It was some bad thing coming. And it was like light blasting through the windows. And I screamed, "Watch your eyes!" Like that was my line, right? But every time I did the line, it was like, "Watch your eyes!" Like I sounded like a teenage boy whose voice was just changing, and I couldn't get the line out without saying, "Watch your eyes!" So now, anytime there's any kind of like danger thing or safety warning or anything like that on set, everybody in the crew goes, "Watch your eyes!" Which is awesome. Hi.
So when Cass became human, we learned that he had to kind of teach himself how to be human. He learned how to drive, he learned how to feed himself, how to clean himself up and everything. Can you tell us something about his experience in one of those, like how he learned to drive, how he learned he needed to eat or use the bathroom?
How does Cass learn to wipe? It's an interesting question. Because usually children are exposed to these things gradually. They see their parents doing stuff, they learn. But Castiel probably one day just found himself taking a crap and then being like... comes out of the stall like... I'm a little scatological, aren't I? Thanks for being a touchstone there, that's good. Getting a little constructive feedback from the front here. You like to talk about poop, don't you? Great, thanks. Hi.
Hello. First, I'd like to compliment you on
Oh, great, yes.
how comforting you are during photo ops for people at their first photo op, and just thank you very much, because I was having an anxiety attack.
Well, thank you for saying that. A lot of times I do try to make people extremely uncomfortable. You happen to just be lucky. You caught me off guard.
My question for you is how do you, Misha, feel about playing Lucifer?
I feel good about it. It's been a lot of fun for me to get to, do something completely different from Castiel for a change. It was a little daunting at first, I'll admit, because I got the script and it was kind of, some kind of meaty stuff with me playing the character that Mark Pellegrino has established. And Mark Pellegrino is probably the best actor we've had on the show. He's done such an awesome job with Lucifer that there's actually no way I can measure up. So they were setting me up for a failure. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking actually for me. But I went over to Mark Pellegrino's apartment and cheated. For my first scene, I was like, "Hey, Mark, I've got a funny question. Could you show me exactly how you would do this?" So that was a little bit helpful. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, just a quick question. As a performer, how is it like to play Castiel, play Jimmy, play Misha in that episode where boys jump to another universe?
The French mistake.
The French mistake. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then finally Lucifer. As a performer, how is it like to switch from role to role to role, kind of?
It's good. I have whiplash, but it's good. I think that there are a lot of shows where you just play one character the whole time. And it's been fun for me to get to, bounce around and play totally different characters, albeit all in the same physical form, which is good because they would have had to hire other actors to do it if it wasn't in the same physical form. I'm just following that to its logical conclusion. I think when Castiel was portrayed by that girl, I can't remember her name, but she was about 10 years old. She was Jimmy Novak's daughter. That was young. No, I don't mean the character's name, but thank you. I guess I should have known. I should have said Claire just now. Anyway, I think that was the best portrayal of Castiel that we've seen. But it was a different actor. I've lost the thread. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so I know that Charlie's death took a big toll on Castiel, and it's probably one of the big reasons why he said yes to Lucifer. It's what I took from it. I was wondering how you, as Misha, took a loss of a feminine role and a big representation of a minority.
I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but I love and loved the character of Charlie and Felicia's portrayal. And I thought it was great that we had a character on the show who was gay, who the fact that she was gay was not what the character was about at all. I think that is a step forward in general in terms of representation. And I think representation is really key. I actually believe, it's one of the reasons that I'm interested in working in film and television in general. I feel like it can help, it can be kind of a vanguard for social change. It can make things accessible or acceptable that hadn't previously been. There was a long time in cinema history, there's a movie about this. It's a documentary, and I can't remember the title of it. But it's about how gay characters for the longest time in cinema, were either bad guys, or they had to die or meet with some tragic demise by the end of the movie. Like, that was sort of just an unwritten rule that was adhered to in American cinema for a really long time. And then we went through this period in like the 90s when it felt like there was a lot of gay characters on television, but they were kind of like, it was all about like, how funny that there's a gay character here. So I really liked that Charlie was an awesome, grounded, funny character that we could relate to, who happened to be gay, but it wasn't about her gayness. I thought that was great. And I also think that, I mean, people have like complained a lot about the fact that she was both a woman and gay, and she died on the show. And first of all, you know, it's supernatural, and no one's really dead forever. So, I mean, I've died 7 times, and nobody complains about that. Except for the people that hate Castiel and wish I would stay dead. But the truth is, I think we can't have sacred cows on the show. Like, if you knew as an audience member that a character was not going to die because they were a woman, and we you know, don't allow women to die on the show, or because they're gay, we don't allow gay characters to die, it would lose a lot of its dramatic value. That said, there are sacred cows on the show, because we know that Sam and Dean are never going to die. So, it's not really true what I just said. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. I mean, sad to have lost the character, if we did have in fact lost her, but I don't know in the long run. Anyway, there. I think I've said it. Good. Thanks. Hi. Hi.
I would just like to know what the most trouble you've been in since working on the set of Supernatural.
Oh, there have been several instances where I've gotten in trouble, where I've gotten phone calls from the producers telling me to stop. I've heard that Warner Brothers has called the producers and asked the producers to ask me to stop. And the producers were like, you deal with him. And then Warner Brothers didn't call me. So, that's cool. But no, I get those calls. I'm not going to rehash those things, but I get those calls. Yeah, it sucks. Because there are people that are calling you to reprimand you that could kill your character really easily. So you have to really fess up a little bit. Yeah, it's a little life lesson for you. Okay. Hi.
Hi. So as we know, Lucifer and Cass are stuck together 24/7 right now. And as we've recently realized, Cass is not completely locked away. So my question is, what would a conversation between Castiel and Lucifer be in his head?
I will tell you, spoiler alert. Well, cover your ears if you don't like that sort of thing. That we will be seeing that conversation in the future. It's a pretty weird thing. There's going to be a bunch of people talking in Castiel's head. Yeah. Weird shit happens on the show. And some seriously weird stuff is coming down the pipe. I told some of my friends about some of the stuff that's in the scripts that we're shooting, the final scripts that we're shooting now. That's awesome. Really close friends. They're like, I think I might watch the show. I might actually watch that. Most of my friends have never seen the show. So they really care about me. Hi.
Hi. So, if Castiel refuses to expel Lucifer because he thinks he's the only one who can stop the darkness, how are Sam and Dean going to get him out of Cass without killing Cass?
This is like the $64,000 question, isn't it? I mean, when you're standing in line, do you think like, all right, I'm going to ask him a question that there's no way he's going to be allowed to answer, and see how he deals with it? Is that what you're thinking?
Pretty much, yeah.
Thanks a lot. Really, way to hang me out to dry here. Yeah. So how are they going to get Cass out of Lucifer's, how are they going to get Lucifer out of Cass's vessel?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like without killing him. Like if you had control over getting Lucifer out of Cass without killing him, how would you do it?
With jelly beans. And Lucifer would be like, oh, Cass. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
I was going down a rabbit hole just now and I jumped out. Hi.
So, I just want to say you're an awesome father.
Oh, I don't know about that. I made my kid cry about the pronunciation of Hulk.
So based on your parenting,
Yes.
what would you suggest would be an appropriate discipline for my son, Jensen?
You have a son named Jensen?
Yes, we met you 4 years ago.
Oh my goodness. How is Jensen doing? Now, so wait, is Jensen now 4 or 5?
He's 9 now.
He's 9. Oh my God. Are you, and he's a little bit of a handful, huh, I bet?
Yeah, he actually called me just now and I declined the call because I wanted to ask you the question.
Well, I think right there, that's a great mark of good parenting.
I can FaceTime him.
Just so, is Jensen is, all right, if you're going to name your son Jensen at the outset, I think you know he's going to be a pain in the butt.
Very much so.
Yeah. Do you strike him at all?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Okay, that wasn't the answer I was looking for. See, if you had said no, then I could say, well, you should hit your children, and it would be a little bit of a joke. But since you already beat him, some of the comic value is lost there. My mom, I was 9. No, I was much older. I was 10. And my mom was dropping me off at school, and I don't know what she said, or she said something, and I said something, and I was like, I hate you, Mom, something like that. And she slapped me in the face. Now, my mom, I was a pain in the butt, I'm sure. And she slapped me, I think, twice my entire childhood, which really showed tremendous restraint on her part. And she slapped me, and it wasn't like, closed-fisted or anything. It was just, you little brat. By some miracle, he gave me a bloody nose. And so I immediately leapt out of the car, and I ran into school. My mom hit me! It was so great. They called her in. She had to come in to have a meeting. It was awesome. Anyway, I would say you're doing the right thing. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Just don't let him bleed in front of his teachers would be my main advice. Hi.
You've been doing a lot of charity work, especially through Random Acts, and you've even used that charity work into inspiring people within Gishwas to reach out to their community as well as part of it. Have you ever considered maybe making a documentary in regards to your charity work, and then possibly maybe going to schools to speak to do more community outreach?
God, that sounds like a lot of work. One of the things that we are trying to get better at, we have this funny thing, which is one of the main goals of Random Acts is to try to show people that it just takes a small effort to make a big impact on someone's life. But initially, I really wanted to try to kind of document as many of the acts as we did as possible, film it. The thing is, it actually can get kind of weird because it's like, here, I'm giving you something, and do you mind if I film it? It's like such a strange, self-aggrandizing dynamic, and makes people feel uncomfortable. And both the giver and the receiver, feel uncomfortable. So that's kind of a challenge that we face. I recently did a little video during a muck, and I was talking to some homeless people who, I was basically like, what do you guys need? And I said, do you mind if I film this? But just so you know, like, there's no strings attached. If you say for any reason that you don't want to be filmed, still going to do this. It's not like contingent on you being filmed. And they were actually like super excited to talk about it because I think that they felt like, oh, nobody actually hears our story, and they wanted to share it. So that was a nice moment. But we got other times when been like, do you mind if we? And they were like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So anyway, that's just what your discussion of documenting things raised for me. As far as speaking at schools, I don't know. I recently did a little Skype session with Eric Kripke's class. So Eric, not his actual class, Eric, an elementary school class at Eric Kripke's elementary school that he had attended years ago, because he's not in elementary school anymore. He graduated. And it was actually really cool. Like the kids, it was kind of cool because their teacher had gotten them involved in some random act stuff, and they were really excited about the project of going and creating charitable projects in their neighborhoods. And for me, I actually am very excited about the prospect of finding ways to get that into schools more. I think that people, you mentioned Gishwas, but I think that people have the idea that doing charitable things is kind of like a chore. It's kind of a pain in the butt, and it's a drag, but it's something you should do. You're kind of morally obligated as a citizen of the world to do. But one of the things that I am trying to convey with Gishwas is that it can be a lot of fun. You can do nice things for people, and great time, and make an ass of yourself all at the same time. And that is kind of an exciting idea to me. You've done Gishwas before?
For the past 3 years.
Are you going to do it again?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Does it cause you a lot of pain and suffering?
Yes. But we love every single moment.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah. We're going to have a good year this year. It's going to be good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's going to be good. All right, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So I can see you're wearing your campaign button.
Oh yeah, Rob put that on me when I got up here. Yep.
So I was wondering if you were ever elected, are there any past presidents or other people you'd want to emulate during your presidency?
When I'm elected president, who am I going to model my presidency after?
When you're elected, because it's going to happen, obviously.
Well, I mean, I think that there's some contemporaries who I can, like Donald Trump. What a collective gasp that was. What is happening to our world? Just, that's a sidebar, just a quick question. If anybody has an answer, please let me know. Yeah, good. I don't know, who would you emulate as president?
Probably Lincoln.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
You mean you'd write a lot of poetry and letters? Lincoln was pretty good at it, wasn't he? Yeah. He set the bar pretty high, that guy. It didn't end well for him, though. I wouldn't want my presidency to end in the same manner that Lincoln's did.
You have to quit your job.
I have to quit my job?
You can't go to the theater.
Oh, that's true. Good point. Although, one could argue that you probably should quit your job anyway if you're going to be president. They're bombing Syria? Sorry, hold 1 second. Yeah, I'll be right there. Hey guys, they're rolling right now, so let me get back to you about the whole bombing. Okay, all right. Hello, Dean. I'm running for president, but beware that I have a 4-year contract with Supernatural, so I am going to be kind of having to double dip a little bit. That's cool with the populace. It's not, by the way, I don't have a 4-year contract on Supernatural. Season 30. Hi. Can you believe season 12 is coming? Like, it's a foggy memory when we were all standing around being like, oh man, it's season 5, I can't believe we made it this far. Whoever would have dreamed 5 seasons? Now it's like, Jesus Christ, when is this thing gonna end? I mean, 12 years, that's all. But, by the way, I don't know if any of you have researched this, but it's very unusual for television. That's a long, long time. Thank you guys for enabling that to happen. It's really remarkable. It's really something. It's so weird to be working with a group like we have been and watching each other grow old and have kids and get married and get divorced. Kids have kids. It hasn't happened yet. But it actually could soon. Somebody who had a child working on Supernatural could have a child that has a child soon. It's coming to that. But it shouldn't happen. I just did a little quick math, and that shouldn't happen for a while. Okay.
Who do you prefer working with more, Jared or Jensen?
Neither. Well, you really one-upped the girl who came up to ask the question that I couldn't answer. You're like, oh, now I'm going to ask him a question that he will definitely make an enemy with. No, honestly, I don't like working with either of them. Thank you.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
Monica. So I don't.
Although there was a time, sorry. There was, if I'm being totally honest, a time I loved Jared and Jensen. We love each other. There was a time when I would look at the script and be like, oh God, a scene with Sam. Because there would be a lot of, I knew that there would be a lot of, tickling of the balls with a broom handle coming down the pipe in that scene. But things have become much more subdued on set now. We've grown, more mature and I guess I phrased that wrong. More cruel, I think I meant to say. All right, never mind. Stand down. Hi.
Hi. So I don't want to reiterate too much and let it go to your head, but I was actually thinking this morning, I have an auto session with you tomorrow, and I was like, I really need to tell him this. Reading, I think you're a fucking phenomenal writer, and reading Baby Pants made me decide that I needed to meet you, like hands down. And I'm a writer myself, and I just wanted to say I'm so glad that you got to experience that fulfillment of being a parent finally, and I love how you are with West and Mace, and thank you for being the example that you are to all of us of what a parent should be.
That is very sweet of you to say. I do feel like I present a public face of my parenting that is not representative of daily.
No, you're hands-on and you're patient as hell and like. And
no, but see, that's editing. We shot this. We didn't shoot. I recorded a podcast. So the Serial podcast. And I thought, oh, funny play on the Serial podcast. We'll do a cereal podcast with like breakfast cereal in our house. So I recorded a morning of like from waking up to eating breakfast, and then somewhere midway through the recording of us having breakfast. By the way, in that recording, I edited out a lot of my impatience. Somewhere midway through, I was like, all right, I should take a picture, because I know that if I'm going to put this up on YouTube, it'll need a still to go with the podcast. So I was like, snapped a couple of pictures, and then carried on with recording the podcast. And then I edited it together, and then I was like, oh yeah, this was a couple days later, got to pull up those pictures. And the pictures were of my son. There was 3 pictures that I just shot in rapid succession, and they were of him going like this, stepping up onto the chair and then onto the table and then putting his foot in his sister's cereal. And to me, the most amazing thing about that was I had no fucking recollection of it. It was the first time I was seeing it in the photo, which I think gives you a sense of the utter chaos and insanity that is our household. Like, it is a disaster, constantly. So much so that him standing on the table, putting his foot in his sister's cereal, didn't even register. No synapses or neurons made connections at that point. It was just like, yes. So anyway, okay.
A follow-up. I actually did have a question, which of course is going to escape now because I'm flustered. So I know you had kind of financial circumstances when you were younger that were difficult, and I wondered what your first kind of frivolous spending thing was when you had an actor's salary. What was kind of the first big spend that was unnecessary that you made?
That is a great question.
Your t-shirt!
I actually got this t-shirt, Smarty Pants, making a bet. I was over at somebody's house and he had this grass growing in a potted plant. And I was like, oh, that's really cool grass. And he said, it's actually bamboo. And I was like, no, it's not. And he said, yeah, it is. It's a kind of bamboo. And I said, no, it's not. That's a grass. And he said, you want to bet? And I was right, and I won the shirt. To hear me talk, it sounds like I have a gambling problem. What happens in Vegas? Are you guys going to be gambling, a lot of you, while you're here? Good choice, strong choice, yep. You're going to make a lot of money. Good on you. Great investment. I don't know what you asked me.
What your first frivolous spend was?
Yep.
Or do you still feel like you're frugal when it comes to spending because you have that mindset from struggling?
I am kind of weirdly frugal, I guess. I don't know. Am I frugal? Yeah, sometimes I'm frugal. And sometimes I'm really stupidly spendy. We grew up, getting government assistance, and sometimes we were homeless when I was a kid, and definitely felt the pain of not having money at times. I mean, it was actually, on balance, I think great because it taught me that I didn't really need a lot of material stuff to be okay, but it was also, it kind of sucks, like standing in line at a soup kitchen and getting really bad soup. So I got, I remember. I remember the very first thing. So my friend Darius directed this movie, which was called Loot, and it's a documentary about World War II veterans, and it was kind of great, and I helped him produce it, and we were at the LA Film Festival, and he won Best Documentary, and it came with the biggest cash prize for a documentary that you can get. It was $50,000. And he and I were in similar, financial situation at that point, which was zero financial situation. And we'd grown up together, so we both sort of shared the same, feeling about money. And we went to a health food store and bought all organic groceries, including, I remember, a bottle of olive oil that was like $25. And I remember thinking, this is so fucking crazy. But we did it anyway. And then later, when I got on Supernatural and I had real money, I bought a pair of patent red Prada shoes. Because I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm fucking loaded now. I'm gonna go buy a pair of patent red Prada shoes. And I got them home and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with those? I actually kept them for a while, but I never wore them. And they're gone now, mercifully. They were like a creepy reminder of a really bad decision. Have you ever done anything like that?
Well, I'm still kind of at the soup kitchen level. I put this entire trip on my credit card. I'm a single mom of an 8-year-old boy named Landon, who adores you, by the way. He was sad he couldn't come.
Tell him I say hi.
I will. So I'm kind of in this struggle, and that's why I appreciate your parenting so much, is because Landon and I hope that we find a dad like you someday.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's very sweet sentiment. I'm going to just quickly give you a hug. Good luck. I am endlessly enamored of single mothers. I have what I consider tremendous resources and a family that is a great team, and it's still hard as hell to raise kids. But to be able to do it on your own is a true triumph. So, good on you. Amazing. Hi, guys. How are you? God, I've missed you. Nice.
You know what the bummer is when you step on stage and I hear, all I can hear in my headphones is the microphones, and I hear these boys step up and go, hi guys, and I hear some young lady on either line go, no, go away. And I'm like, that's the spirit. Boo, Billy.
Sometimes at conventions, when they come up at the end of my panel, people are like, boo, no. But you actually kind of felt a collective sigh of relief when you walked up. Everyone was like, thank God. It's time to go stretch our legs, isn't it?
Well, we got about 700 help texts. Like, what's going on?
Hashtag save us from Misha's panel.
Yeah.
Great. That helps the confidence a lot. Great. Super. Who's next? Do we have any last questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, they go away. That was me.
Okay, don't get cocky. No one's proud of you. That was a dark one.
First I just want to say congratulations on the great job you're doing playing Casper.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait until they come up with that episode when you play Casper, and then it's going to be Demon and Solveset all together.
Oh my God, that hurt.
Well, my question really quick is,
yes.
You know if you can get away 100%, nobody's going to find out.
Yep.
What kind of crime you're going to play in here?
Oh, you mean other than murder?
Yeah, other than
you can totally get. And good question. God, that's our.
I keep thinking myself, but it all ends in murder.
Yeah, I was like, then we dismember him. Wait a minute, no, that's murder too.
Yeah. So lock him in the
drown
box,
him, and then no, it's
it.
also murder.
I bury the box, and then he dies murder.
Do you have any ideas for me that I could plagiarize?
Well, if you dismember, can I keep it, please?
I gotta tell you something. With your accent, that did not sound like keep the peace. That's not what I heard. I know when you cut him out, may I keep a penis? I heard you request keeping the seventh penis from a dead Jared Padalecki. That's what I heard. Hashtag keep a penis. That's what I heard.
All right, so you got dibs on the penis. We got it.
No taken. By the way to jump in there because somebody would have called it. You know what I mean? Like, that's getting claimed by somebody.
And then later we'd be at a convention and she'd come up and she'd be like, excuse me, can you sign this for me? I already got Dick to sign it.
Yeah, the obvious answer would be, listen, my signature is MC, and there's just simply not enough room. Okay, like you know. Like I know. Like any of us know. Listen, the only person who knows anything about Jared's penis is that one. So let's be honest. But Hollywood power. That's a Hollywood power. Good answer. Yes, you get a piece. Nice job. Let's just do one more question. You only have one more. Let's just do.
Okay. All right. You're dismissed. Pervert.
Severed penis owning pervert.
Unbelievable.
Hi. What was
like your first, second, and third impressions of Jensen and Jared?
She wants to know the evolution of your Jensen and Jared.
When I first got, oh God, that's a great question. When I first got there, I felt like Jared was a little standoffish and Jensen was really friendly, and then I thought that Jared was really friendly and Jensen was standoffish, and then I realized they were both dicks.
That's sort of, by the way, that was before lunch.
It was an emotional roller coaster. I can tell you that they thought I was really weird.
No, that's weird. That's how would they ever? I'm mystified.
This panel was going so much better before you got here.
That's Billy.
Yeah, Billy, you're really killing the mood. We have on our television program called Supernatural, we have an amazing character returning to the show.
Who's playing the character? Who they cast? And Breckenmeyer as Breckenmeyer.
Chuck. Yep. Demon number 4 is coming back, reprising his role from episode 403. It's pretty awesome. All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Hold
on. Whoa, Misha, hold on. Rob's been out of town. We've been making TV. Came back in town, and I said, Robbie, you're on stage. Why don't you introduce Misha? And then I shat all over it by talking about Misha.
It was a classic Rich. He was like, you know what? Rob's been just got here, so I'm going to let you do the honors and introduce Misha. You know, this next guest.
He's a great sharer, isn't he?
Yeah. He said all these, he introduced you, and he's like, okay, go ahead, Rob. And I was like, Misha Collins. I don't have anything to add.
Right, so, because Robbie and I, we've already started fighting. He's been in town 45 minutes. I'm gonna be the bigger man and let you unintroduce Misha Collins.
This is how you do it, Rich. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins!